Driving home with my shoes off, it's been too long. Tired of it, probably another one. World's on fire, but gas is cheap. Nothing to do, nowhere. I've never been one to watch TV, but I guess that first time for everything. You stayed at home, I guess you'd ride too long and piss your parents off. I got mad that I didn't tell you. Got me good that you wouldn't know. No, no, you wouldn't know. Long phone calls sometimes. We barely even talk. Sometimes I like it that way. You always hate it when I say that. You let me know. Yes, you let me know. Oh, you let me know. Won't you let me know? Won't you let me know? Won't you let me know? Put your favorite record on and put the phone where I can hear a few hundred miles away. Wishing I was right there tonight. I'm getting lost inside the white lines. I'm reading salvation on highway signs. You're not quite sometime. Not gonna make it home tonight, but I'll be there for you. A good time song that you can listen to. box of notes and all those letters I wrote to you. Goodbye kiss that lingers on your lips for so long until I'm not gone. I'm gonna be there for you, even when I'm not there for you. And if I take the long way home, no matter how long I'm gonna be there for you, even when I'm not there for you.
Oh, it's different now, and I remember from all the colors of September. We fall into the same honesty. Lately, I buy more and I get smarter. And I still be sensitive, and I wish we could go back then. Hang on, darling, these memories like mending a broken room in our heads, but still out of touch. Think I've forgotten without you, part of me. My sweet Constantine, made a secret anymore. Since you walked through those doors, you know I struggle being myself. Maybe this is all that matters. All the spots and slips and spatters from you to me to somebody else. Hang on, darling, these memories
250도로 예열해서 구운 것. 얘는 똑같이 250도로 예열해서 구웠지만 파이지는 제대로 만들지 않은 것. 얘부터.
Doesn't feel like that long ago. Smoking cigars on a rooftop, watching the neighbors' fireworks show. Months move slow, months move quick. I miss my friends, I miss it when we lived in the same city, fell in love but never told anybody. Nights spent on the beach, talking about nothing but these things we were gonna do someday, someday. Time's going, you're married with a baby on the way. That's crazy, but I in the best possible way. Months move slow, months move quick. Do you remember when we lived in the same city? Fell in love